What's happening? Back to Earth. Early times. This is yesterday. Excuse me. Showing you the formats yesterday of a supercomputer across the United States territory, United States Community Circuit, United States southern border. During this alignment, I've mentioned the polar habitat, equator habitats, crash trough across, and their collision is taking place around both hemispheres, northern and southern hemisphere. The convections in the upper atmosphere. The upper atmosphere is a particle acceleration. Notice there have been alignments across the United States southern border void, and you'll have your constant streams of time space from nm nanometer out to radio of the you have a radial spin of the polar atmosphere radial spin, which is the mass spin of the equator thermal habitats. There's some bandwidth temps in between registered and green, yellow, and yellow, and the temp and the land temps. We're dealing with all altitudes, all elevations, constant stream of time and space, even right in front of you, around you, and then up to the upper atmosphere. Land temps, you'll have your parallel wave across not just the United States territory, colder up here, it starts warming up, and you'll have both. You have the habitats harboring network migration and frequency coming out. I'm over your station with no field position when radio signals given. The convection patterns have been exhibiting some live mechanics across Eric, and this is a multi-rate spin. And so when you have these convection patterns taking place, you also have them taking place across the whole grid. Energy increase and decrease the atmosphere. Excuse me. I'll show you. I've showed you the revolution outputs today. Explains lightning symmetry coming across the field position I'm currently stationed and opening up and turning off. And that's the lightning increase, decrease across all here. So you're opening up and turning off as you're flying. It's a time-space format. Notice talking about California, LA is in the polar habitat and equator meet. And then that crash trough, you'll notice it is in between the band with action on the 40. Nation's capital, chain reactor, biomarkers. Nation's capital is one. St. Louis, Quincy, Houston, LA, and Vegas. It's park acceleration. Even you have the land temp connecting the origin points of where some of these stem off the bandwidth can't come from. You have variable different channels, green, blue, red, as the rounds are being made in our own life mechanics. Constant stream of time, so one can open up here in different areas, and the other will play chess accordingly. Up here and move. And like that, so you have a person doing the updates, and if you have some other mechanics, they'll be able to abduct people in the acts. And then what's with the behavior patterns, person doing the updates with the alerting people of the this area while going through the struggle. Everybody has their daily task struggle, whatever, but knowing your encounters, the abductions. I kind of got lost in the abductions, but I continue to chase study, research the life mechanics, and then be everyone human out the bandwidth of the wavelengths, dimensional environment. Continue to try to work together with everyone's human. The United States territory is experiencing a lot of disaster and negligence, and of no one responding to what's hidden feedback what's been taking place above. I'm going to show you the dynamic model. What we're working with said NM's radio, different variables, gray, green, red, and as the multi-rate's been constant, active, even if humans don't know, abductions subconsciously route them in different directions. Everybody has their tunnel view, and then you'll have different variables. If you have the spread, everyone's of the tunnel view that we all experience, and the mechanics right for all of us, so we can learn more about their traits and characteristics of different alien, strange life mechanics, dimensional life form detected. People go to church for reasons, so people can relate like that. Science also. And then examples 911 calls daily. I just want to show you the quick crash trough. equator and polar habitats across the United States territory. Polar habitat and equator connect simultaneous spin Earth operating system. But yes, the S-ray format across the United States territory. Definitely, life mechanics taking place. Both habitats crashing and interacting with each other. I mentioned before, hurricanes would come up. You have the polar habitat turn up around here, then drift around the area. This hurricane will turn up down here. That polar habitat come do its time and then take a turn, swim across, drift around the town area again. The hurricane will align with the Illinois state because we're dealing with state division, jurisdiction, county, state, and then nation's capital. So you have violations. There's no reason why they should leave the mayor. If it does, then it'll reach the governor of any state division that should get the virus contained. If any disturbance in the community, there's no reason it should be able to pass. Every state is alerted, even Washington, and they're making the different variable codes are making rounds, and they're looking at the country as an outbreak and criminal nature of security risk for 350 million people, then retaliation efforts everywhere else if this area has evidence of alien life, plans atmosphere on a global stage, one nation amongst 200, amongst many, 190 plus organized, unorganized, and then for years. So it's like, how is the response when the life mechanics come and abduct a person in action? How they respond, and then going state to state, you have multi-rate spin. There have been many community leaders around the United States have helped assist, bring awareness to people in their communities, and then with the life mechanics around their own, people are noticing them, learning the nature, time space, nature physics, and some of the properties, compositions, and advancing, bringing safety to people's personal lifestyles, and socially with everyone aware. Polar cap, you have Canada, Russia. On the other side, in between the bands, you'll have a polar ally, China has a sit, and then the equator habitat, you'll have India. But then having with the equator, the energy field, alien trajectory. Currently right now, hold on. Currently right now, this is outside in California state. It's off the coast, Pacific. You have the crest trough again. Notice the 40 is right here. Action across the 40 north latitude, across on both sides, been monitored. You'll have a crash in the crest trough. Even here they are again. Certain vehicles coming in. It's constant spin. So again, different mechanics taking turns. Example: the NM to radio. We're talking about the rise of the equator, and then you'll have your NM to radio battle, the trajectories of the transverse, the time space. So when you have a spread, this looks like it's moving one direction, which you have a battle particle fight, and then transverse. The trajectory, the direction moving. This magnetic field area in this direction, as the whole time space is moving, and then you'll have your. You notice inside the image you have a battle. The cloud hues different, so you're dealing with different bandwidths. That's what example of network migrations, organisms, wildlife, in their own worlds of activities. When you hit the mass spread, you'll have here's the radial spread right here, a rise. The yellow and green hues showing between the bandwidth activity taking place here. And when you have a hit, the polar equator, it can send a backward spin, a roll of the atmosphere. So you hit here. Well, it usually takes place on the Atlantic, but when you have a conveyor belt hit, it can roll in the other direction, but you're still moving this way. Then when you have your radial mass spin, you notice an area roll that way, but in the entire movement. So you're dealing with life mechanics out the balance. When I mentioned in the radio, that also includes human acts, human behavior. So people in this town, people are alerted how they acted in different towns, and then when you have similarities in how people react and not and different reactions, label that with the safety, liability for everyone and people not responding. Hold on. Use social media, Facebook, platform, updates President of the United States, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and then now Biden doing a public study on plants, nature, physics, and time-space nature physics. So, here's an update with Donald. I'm not living on Facebook. The quantum computer study, I put the radar up and go outside, and I got a reaction. Others came and watched, and they had to reason it's they had to write it for their files, so they don't want to have dirt on each other. So they have to concur and agree on what we're all experiencing. As we're trying to get an international deal, we're all experiencing weather patterns. And current updates to current President Joe Biden. Just last night, about to get back to work, check in again. I'll be informed through storms. I just want to explain the grid a little more, get a little more trust. Hold on a second, we do one more thing. Okay, here's the current formats of the day. And one of a kind. Dynamic model of the Earth operating system. I mentioned sea temps, those along with the land temps. We're gonna get some land temp. Get a land temp example here. Sorry about this. There's a land temp.